But I think this passage is not just talking about going around the globe. I think there's an implication here that we need to see that Jesus is calling us to love people who are different than us. These Samaritan people, as I mentioned a moment ago, were hated by the Jewish nation. But what you can't avoid as you read this passage is similar to the Good Samaritan in the other Gospels. The Gentile Samaritans are the hero of the story. Consider for the fact that the first person in John's Gospel that Jesus confesses his identity as the Messiah to is a Gentile woman. Consider the fact that she's not just a Gentile woman, she's a woman with a very, very sordid past. As the story moves on, the Gentile woman becomes the ideal disciple as she begins to tell people about Jesus. And the Gentiles themselves are the one giving full-throated testimony to Jesus. What is John doing? He's saying, Jewish people of the time, as he's writing this gospel, understand that these Samaritans are people you're called to love and to point to Jesus. Who are the people in your life that you struggle to love and to point to Jesus? Who are those people? You know, on the one hand, we could talk about race and racism. This is a passage that clearly confronts any kind of racist tendencies we would have in our bodies, that we would say, no, we believe every person, regardless of the color of their skin, we're called to love them and tell them the gospel of Jesus Christ. What's compelling about this is you look at the Gospel of John as a whole, is both Nicodemus and the Samaritan woman, very different people, both need Jesus. But maybe your struggle is not a racial one, maybe it's a political struggle. Is it hard for you to love people that have a different political persuasion? Got real quiet in here, guys. Is it hard for you to love those folks? Is it hard for you to love people that you see on television, politicians, people like that, that are doing things you disagree with, things that frankly are very unbiblical? Does not mean that we never sacrifice. It means that we never sacrifice truth. Doesn't mean that we ever back up for a second on our convictions. But we are to do so loving those people, recognizing that they're not the enemy. People are not the enemy. People are either lost or they're saved. The enemy is the spiritual warfare you and I walk into every day. People are not our enemy. There's a battle, yes, there's a real enemy, but that enemy ultimately has been defeated by Jesus through his cross and his glorious resurrection. Who are those people in your life that you struggle to love and point to Jesus?